We are right now in the middle of the normalized market. Interest rates are 5-6%. How much money did you make in March?
March, I made $8,500.
So you made $8,500 in 1 month in the middle of this current market where everyone else says it's slow, but you're still making a six-figure income. Another episode of On the Road with signing agent JoAnn in the amazing state of Arizona. How are you doing today, JoAnn?
I'm doing so good, man. How are you?
I am so good. Your story, like all of these stories, is crazy inspirational. We are right now in the middle of the normalized market. Interest rates are 5-6%. How much money did you make in March?
March, I made $8,500.
So you made $8,500 in 1 month in the middle of this current market where everyone else says it's slow, but you're still making a six-figure income. What would you say real quick to inspire people that, who say, oh, the market's slowing down, it's normalizing. You can't make six figures in a normalized market. You're doing it. So what would you say?
You can absolutely do it. Now is the time to be like any other business. You have to distinguish yourself from another notary. So do you want to be just another notary or do you want to be a full service? And that's what people are looking for. They're looking for a service and someone who's going to take care of them, not just someone who's going to come in and say point and sign a date, and there you go. Okay. It can be done. Just you got to show them. That's right. You got to make them
out there. You got to go out there and run your business. Speaking of running your business, we have some exciting news to share. You just launched what?
Wages Loan Signing Service, LLC.
So you are now a full-blown nationwide signing service started in the middle of when rates are 5-6%. Again, I share this to inspire people. It has nothing to do with where current rates are. It has every single thing to do with effort. Like you said, being a full service business, right? If you're just going to be a notary, there's no business out there for you. But if you're going to be a business owner who knows how to thrive as a business owner, there is money to be made. So I'm so glad. And what I love about this interview too, by the way, JoAnn, is you're not one of the loan signing system's 10K, 15K, $20,000 a month signing agent. You're still a six-figure signing agent, building a business, starting a loan signing agency, a signing service. And so I hope everyone's inspired because it doesn't matter if you make $8,500 a month or $15,000 a month. It's all inspiring because we're all here trying to do the same thing, and that's build something for our future. Like everybody's story that we share, JoAnn, yours is as inspiring as all of them. I smile because I know the story. I know the journey, but I'd love for you to share what you're willing to share to help people through whatever they're going through and knowing that no matter where you are, you can become a successful signing agent. So your past doesn't dictate your future. Your past doesn't define you. And so if you're willing to share kind of where you've been, I'd love to talk people through that up until you became a signing agent. Then we'll also talk about your signing agent journey as well. So I'll let you take the floor and let you share what you want to share.
Yeah. As of May 19th of this year, I am 25 years clean from methamphetamines. I am 12 years sober, like solidly sober. And I'm sitting in a home. I went from homeless to homeowner in 10 years. And without taking assistance from anyone. I was very stubborn and figuring out living in my car. Dude, I lived in my car for a while. All right. I was a fat kid. I've dropped 200 pounds. I was an obese female living in a Geo Metro. Do you know what a Geo Metro is?
I do.
It's a roller skate.
Yes, I do.
It is. It's fat man in a little coat kind of thing, and yeah, I decided that nobody was going to tell me what I could do in life. No one was going to tell me if I could be successful or if I could be my own business owner and I definitely made this decision of people saying, how dare you think you can be better because of where you came from? People always reminded me that I came from a trash family and I'll always be trash, or you did this. And so therefore they put all these labels on me. And I said, bump this, or I almost cussed. Um, Today's the day. I'm not an addict. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not homeless. I am, I am a woman with destiny and purpose, and it's my time to take over the world. And what that looked like when I decided that, wasn't quite sure, but all I knew is nobody could tell me anymore what I could do because of my past. And like you said, my past decisions do not dictate my future. I dictate my future. My husband and I, we dictate our future, nobody else. And so my phrase, which I will clean up because I want it family friendly, but I tell people, if you don't like me, you can kiss my country personality, because I just don't care.
Yeah.
You don't pay my bills. You're not pushing the dream. You're not doing anything. It's all me. And so therefore, line in the sand, and I went forth, pounding my chest like a man. So yeah, and it's been the best. I don't know where to go from there. It's just been the best. When you decide to tell people, you don't even have to tell people, but when you decide to cut the chains of opinions and striving for people's approval, and you'll do anything for people's approval, when you finally just strip that off you, the freedom I felt, and I felt so much lighter, and not because I lost weight, but I literally felt so much lighter. My chest didn't hurt. I didn't, my heart stopped palpitating all the time. I was always having heart palpitations, and I can breathe. And then I was like, hello world, I'm a Bridges. And it's great. It's brilliant, so
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't even know what to say. I'm like literally speechless, and I'm never speechless. Um, I love a phrase that you said in there, homeless to homeowner in 10 years. Let's take people on that journey, because I think that's inspiring, because I think it can be related to building a business.
Mhm.
It took you 10 years to get from homeless to homeowner. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen in year number one, where, it didn't happen in year number two. So kind of take someone through that journey, right? And tell them, if you could. And I think what's really inspiring about your story, and I think it's what makes you a great business owner, by the way, is, the fact that you understand journeys will be more than 2 months. So be more than 3 months. I think a lot of signing agents jump in this business. They don't make $10,000. They think they fail, right? They don't make $500 in the first week. They think that something's wrong with them, but you're really a story of perseverance. So I want to talk through the 10 years, if you don't mind. My intuition tells me that there's probably moments in the first year or two where you wanted to give up, right? It would have been easy to go back to whatever life that you were living, because that's what you knew, but you wanted more. And so therefore you did more. So talk people through the first few years of being homeless to being a homeowner, the journey, the moments where you maybe wanted to give up, the moments of like, is there really going to be a light at the end of the tunnel? Because I'm sure you had some dark days.
Oh yeah.
And I want you to share that to help people who may be going through their version of homeless to homeowner. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about dark days.
Yeah.
I'll never say people don't understand what a dark day is, because that's inappropriate, because each journey has its dark days, right?
Right. That's right.
But when you are in a car in a Walmart parking lot at night, and it's not because it's night, but that was the hardest. And that was the hardest time of my life, where I had to sit in fetal position, because that's the only way I could sleep in the car, right? And I just had to tell myself over and over, tomorrow is going to be a good day. Tomorrow is going to be a good day. And I would close my eyes and go, tomorrow is going to be a fantastic day. It's going to be a fantastic day. And I would take a deep breath, and then I would fall asleep chanting that over and over. And I would tell people, listen, and they wouldn't understand why I was doing what I'm doing. And I said, because I'll die on hope, because it's got to get better. It has to be better than this. And guys, I've already been 10 years clean. I've already been 10 years clean and sober a few years. So I wasn't homeless when I was an addict. I was homeless because I made some decisions that weren't the best. And out of stubbornness and pride, I said, I would rather be homeless than living with a person who was abusing me. And so therefore I did, you know.
You got me,
And
you got me in tears over here,
yeah,
thank you for sharing that, because I visualized you in the Geo Metro in the fetal position with your eyes closed, willing a better day. And it gets me very just emotional thinking about you being in that position, or any human being. And, but you didn't stay in that fetal position. You didn't stay in that car. You made decisions.
right,
So,
right.
what was some of the things going through your mind? Because what I loved is, every night when you had your eyes shut, you're saying, tomorrow's going to be better. Tomorrow's going to be better. Or whatever you just said, it was kind of your mantra to rock yourself to sleep. Why didn't you give up? And again, I asked that because I think there's parallels between your amazing rise and building a business. So when I ask you, why didn't you give up? What drove you to try to maybe spark something in someone else who wants to give up? Because I'll be honest with you. I mean, you're right. Everyone's dark days are different, and no one's dark day is worse than someone else's dark days. But with that being said, in a Walmart parking lot in your Geo in the fetal position is a pretty dark day. And so what drove you, what kept keeping you going? Because again, I think that's relatable to building a business. Like, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep pushing. Don't give up. Tomorrow's going to be better. So what kind of made you drive through that? I mean, was it just will and sick and tired of being sick and tired? Walk me through that a little bit.
I was raised to be reminded that I'm a Bridges. And a Bridges, we don't start a fight, but we do finish a fight. And so that was my dad taught me that you don't start a fight, but you darn well finish a fight. And so I took that from an actual physical fight, being picked on or beat on or whatever, start trying to prove something to someone by pushing other people around, to my mental aspect of this is a mental fight. And I refuse to go down to a mental fight, because if I can survive methamphetamines, if I can survive alcoholism, if I can survive flatlining, I've been dead 3 times. I've flatlined 3 times in my life. Ready? If I can survive that, this is nothing. All right. So figure it out, put your big girl panties on. And now how are we going to work ourselves out of this area that you made poor decisions? And that's why I was there. I made poor decisions. It wasn't, and I didn't blame anyone else. I put it on me. I made poor decisions. Okay. These are the steps to go. The first step is I'm going to work as many jobs as possible. At night, I worked at McDonald's, and during the day in Georgia in the summer, I worked in FedEx trucks. So when it's 110 degrees outside, it's 150 in the truck. And then I would go to the gym and work out for 4 more hours because I tried getting in the Army. That didn't happen. Had an asthma attack 2 days before my physical. I felt sorry for myself for 2 seconds. I'm like, okay, I don't get to go here. Where am I going to go? It doesn't matter. I'm going to keep on this job so I can, get out of the car and rent a room. And then from there, okay, I'm in the room. I have a roof over my head. Okay, what do I want to do? Okay, this is what I want to do. And then I kept my eye on the vision. I'm very big about planning on paper. I have paper planners. I have vision boards. I write things down. I write the vision out and I dream it. And I don't let anybody tell me no.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. And that's the biggest thing in business, Mark. You can tell me no all you want. And no, it's good.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing I did in life. And I would tell people, okay, well, enjoy your snacks, enjoy whatever. It's been such a pleasure meeting you. And then I think I told you before, I'm the agent they want. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah. I love it.
Because I'm the alpha.
What I love about what you share, JoAnn, is I heard the word accountability. But what I love about your story is, and you're not someone who was accountable from day one. You had to go through the journey you did to get to that moment of I had enough. I had enough of blaming other people. I had enough of trying to live up to what other people expect from me. I've had enough to let their voice affect what I'm doing. And so I think it's inspiring because sometimes people just have that moment really early in life. It took you a journey to get there, but at the end of the day, you're there. And I think that's what I want to inspire everybody with, is the fact that you made the decision to be accountable. And that's where it started. If we, I mean, this is kind of a little bit of right term, but I think it's not, is, you said you lost 200 pounds. Let's take people through that, because again, I think weight loss, I think, is like business, right? You want to see things happen tomorrow, but you don't, right? You want to see 200 pounds drop off in a month, but it doesn't. And so I think your whole journey has led you to being the amazing business owner you are, because I believe that some of the things that happened before you actually set you up for success as a business owner. So talk about the weight loss journey, because I'm sure people, a lot of Americans struggle with weight issues. And so, talk about that part of your journey too, because I think I want to inspire people that it's just slow and steady sometimes does win the race.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. I never told you, in my 30s, I lost 198 pounds to get in the Army. And then I had my asthma attack. And then 6 months later, I met my husband. And when you get happy, you get fat and happy, right? And I always joked, I was like, listen, I got the ring. Don't have to look good no more. But couldn't figure out what's going on physically. I gained all my weight back and plus some. And then it was just some medical stuff going on. And it was, no matter, I thought I was eating well, like I was fooling myself. I'm eating well, or I'm doing whatever. And then one day I went to a park, Cedar Point in Ohio, for an anniversary trip. And I didn't fit on any of the rides. And I was like, that's it. That's it. Not today's the day, but I was like, when we get home, because it was the anniversary trip, I'm going to figure this out. And then I broke out the notebook and I started, whenever I would eat something, I would write, this is what I ate. I ate it because I felt like this. This was my emotions. And this is what it made me feel. And then this is how I felt emotionally afterwards. And that brought the accountability into, wow, I'm not doing very well with my nutrients. And so let's cut to Arizona, because that's when I started really dropping weight, is when I moved here. It's okay, I want to be an outside girl again, so I'm going to start walking. I'm going to cut out sodas. And it was discipline. And it was do I want the cupcake because I'm feeling frustrated, or do I want fruit? They're both sugar, right? They're both sweet. They're both delicious. And I just had to make that decision. And it came down to, now I have really terrible systems that we call habits. I got to create better systems. And it was just like, okay, but why am I doing what I'm doing? It's not that I'm eating a cupcake. It's why am I doing what am I doing? Am I trying to stuff something emotionally? Am I trying to avoid stuff that I was not dealing with? And that came to a yes. So it was not just weight loss. It was a lot of working through a lot of emotional, mental stuff, if you want to put it like that.
What I think is beautiful about this whole journey is it sets you up to be a good business owner.
Yeah.
Because if I would have asked you, how do you build a business? Everything you just told me about discipline and perseverance, about what you just described as your weight loss journey, if I would have been like, build a business, and I just plugged in what you just said, it would have made sense completely. So whether you are trying to lose weight, or you're trying to be a business owner, or you're trying to do anything, it's about accountability, perseverance, not expecting a result today, but maybe in a week because of your actions. And it's like you said, it's putting down the cupcake, exchanging it for a fruit. In business, that could be like, okay, am I going to stay home, or am I going to go to a networking event, right? There's always two decisions. One's going to pay off better. And usually two decisions are always going to be decisions that have a consequence, what you want of that consequence, right? And a consequence could be positive, by the way. People use the word consequence as a negative term, but there could be a positive consequence to doing something. And so every decision we have can go down one of two roads, and you have to ask what of the two roads I want to go down. But like I said,
Right.
JoAnn, your journey is inspiring. When I tell you, when you say out loud, I make $8,500 a month, when you say out loud, I own a signing service, how does that make you feel at this point?
I think that right there explains it. Like, wow, I'm doing what I was told that can't be done in Tucson. Someone told me you can't do that in Tucson. I'm like, no, then it's going to get done because you told me I can't. So I appreciate you. But it's surreal, you know, because I'm doing what I've been told my whole life that I would never be able to do, and now I'm doing what I was told multiple times cannot happen in Tucson, will not happen in Tucson. I'm like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And when people ask me, how are you doing it? And I tell them the same thing, what we're hearing here. I've set up systems. I don't let them tell me no. I stay kind. I don't ask for business. I ask for friendships, if that makes sense, or relationships. I don't come in and say, I'm the best and you want to hire me right now. No, I'm like, I'm new to the neighborhood. How you doing? You have a family? Fantastic. Oh, you just had a kid? Great. Okay. A week later, they get a card in the mail. Congratulations for your baby boy or girl. Hey, one night, you're going to just be dead tired, both of you. Here's a gift card. Go get dinner. But I don't put in my business card. Why? Because they've already seen my face. I've already been in their office. It's things like that. And so I'm a signing service. So now I have I can't put words to it. I try so hard. But it's great because now when I'm working with notaries and I get my scan backs and I'm like, what? I can make it a teachable moment. And they like it because I'm not berating them. I'm pouring into them, And I learned a long time ago that we can say the exact same thing in two different ways. One to where people hate you and one to where people are like, oh, right. And so now I get to pour into other notaries and teach them tips and tricks, which is what I did in IT. I love tips and tricks because tips and tricks makes you smarter. It makes you better. That's what distinguishes you above other businesses.
Man,
It's tips
I
and
mean,
tricks.
I can listen to you for hours. This is
Yeah.
incredible. And so, again, thank you for being so vulnerable. I mean, from homeless to
Yeah.
homeowner, I love that tagline. It's like the best ever. The weight loss journey, being sober. Thank you for sharing it all, So, as we kind of wrap up this part of the conversation, bring us to the moment where you're like, I need to make a change. I need to become a signing agent, right? I think you were medical device sales or something. I know a little bit of your story, obviously, but share with everybody else. Again, I share all these stories so people don't feel like they're alone. And so, kind of share, why you felt like you needed to make a change and ultimately why you did to become a signing agent.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, medical IT, I was just this computer nerd and I was good. I was very good. And they came after me. So that should make me feel elated, which it did. And that's what brought me to Arizona from Georgia. But I had a supervisor who just thought it was appropriate to harass me in a lot of ways. We could say bullying, but it's not quite because I always stood my ground. But it got to the point where I would come home and I don't like crying. I don't like crying. I don't like people getting in my head, but this supervisor was in my head. And it started affecting me to what I was eating, what I was doing, what I was not doing, wasn't swimming, wasn't lifting weights. I wasn't doing anything. I was like, I'm just going to be nothing but a loser, because that's the family. And it literally brought me back to that place. And I have to say, I was on Kilimanjaro and it was the second to last day. And I finally said, bump it. I'm done. I'm making just as much money part-time as an agent that I'm making with my full-time job. I hate my full-time job. My full-time job makes me want to I hate it. I hate it. And I don't like hating things and I don't like hating people. So I finally said, that's it. And I drew a line in the sand, preferably up on the Bronco wall in Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. And I said, this is it. I'm done. And I came home and you couldn't deter me from that. I just came back with this confidence and that's really what it was right there. It was the confidence to go into my business. I knew I was good. I was sure of it, but it was the confidence. Once I grabbed that ring, that you couldn't budge me from it, no matter what you said. So
yeah, I tell all you students that ready isn't a feeling, it's a decision, right?
Yeah.
And the cool part about what I'm learning, and I'm learning this in real time as we're having this conversation, is your journey has been a lot of just a really good decisions of I'm doing what's best next. I'm doing what's best next. I'm doing what's best next. And so you're kind of the epitome of just making decisions that are going to move your life forward. And I'm just so proud of you, JoAnn. It's so awesome to really hear the story behind, because I see all your victories. I see all your wins. I see everything you share in the group, and thank you for inspiring others. But I think when people now hear the story of this lady who just went from, the proverbial bottom to the top of the mountain, pun intended, that anyone could do it, so let me ask you, JoAnn, if you can build this business, do you think anybody can build this business?
Absolutely. I absolutely think anybody can build a business. It's your mindset. Sorry, I got to get my hands on this one. Ready? You ready? The difference between being a notary and being a business is how you think. Do you want to think like a notary, where you want your $75 check or your $85 check, or you're going to try to negotiate for a $100 check? Okay. Or are you going to think like a business? And I think that's one of the things in the training you said, and it stuck with me in mentors, is do you think like an employee or do you think like a business? Well, I've been an employee my whole dang life, but I knew I was born to be the boss. I'm the alpha, and the alphas I don't know if you know anything about I'm the alpha. And it sounds egotistical, and I don't mean it to, and people take it wrong, and I wish they wouldn't, but because of what I've gone through and what I've fought through, and let me just put it like that, is sometimes I've had to fight through it to get to here. I bow to nobody. That's why I can get what I want. I bow to nobody. And so alphas aren't employees, they're bosses. And so, if I can do it, I think anybody can do it. It's how you approach it, and it's how you look at it. And then are you going to focus on your business and build your business? Or are you going to look at all the people who've gone before you and compare yourself to them and wonder why you're not like them? Yeah. Well, there's no one like me. There's never going to be anybody. That's why there's no competition. I'm the only one, right? Yeah. And people take that wrong as me being a jerk and very egotistical. No, there's no competition, because I'm the only JoJo in the room. Thank you. You're the only Mark. Other people is the only people. So that's when I say distinguish yourself, that's what I talk about. Don't come in as an employee. People don't want employees. They need a business owner who can take something off their plate, troubleshoot, make it happen, and make their life easier. So I love it. I can do it.
I love it. I hope everyone listens to this. This is fire. Yeah. So, wow. Like I said, this conversation, the first 30 minutes, we haven't even gotten to the good juice yet.
I know, right?
So that was so vulnerable and just so appreciative of everything you just shared with me. So let's I actually even speak to this over the past 20 minutes that we just talked to. I mean, you're so inspiring. And I agree, right? Anyone can build this business if they're willing to build a business. And I think that's the biggest, people overlook when I say that all the time, because there's a shortage of business owners that are notaries. I never said there's a shortage of notaries. There's a shortage of business owners who are notaries. And if that can really click, you can make money in any market. You know, the biggest thing we do right now is, oh, Mark, you know, interest rates are 6%. You know, there's not business for me. You're proof that you can make a six-figure income in this current environment if you want to put in work. So let's take people through your income journey, because I think it's just as inspirational as what you've just shared. So how much money did you make as your first month as a signing agent?
My first month was $310.
$310.
Yeah.
You know, I want to talk about real quick, you know, and so you say that with like the biggest smile on your face. So there's some people, JoAnn, that make $300 their first month and think that there's something wrong with them. They'll literally be like, Mark, oh, business is so slow. I don't make $300. This business is for me. Or I'll get people who make $300 a month. Like, oh, I failed. Why didn't you have that? Because you had the biggest smile on your face. Like, I made $300. And so I'm trying to get the mindset of a signing service owner on this journey, because, you know, not everyone's going to make $5,000 their first month. More people will make $300 their first month than $5,000, but some people will give up after their first month and think, oh, the market's slow, interest rates are too high. Why didn't that resonate with you and you just kept building your business to where it is today?
That's a good question, man. First of all, from where I came from, $300 that was a credit card payment.
Yeah.
So I looked at, I've always done side hustles. I'm a side hustling junkie. So I just looked at it like, is $300 is better than $200.
Yeah.
$300 is better than none. Yeah. Some is better than none. That's what I tell people sometimes. Listen, some is better than none, right? But that gave me time to sit in my office in my pajama pants, and at night, what was I doing? I would love to have been out playing trivia or doing karaoke or, you know, going to jujitsu or whatever. I had the old mentoring videos up and I was watching as much as I could because I knew what I wanted. I absolutely knew what I want. Truthfully, I'm going to tell you, I didn't think it was going to be a signing service, but I knew what I wanted business wise. Well,
I think that's beautiful. So the couple things that I heard in that, first thing I heard of that is perspective. I think a lot of people don't have that. They use the wrong perspective. They see someone who made $5,000 and they're comparing themselves to that versus the perspective of like, wow, I made a brand new business and I made $300 versus the perspective like, oh, well, this student made $2,500. So therefore there must something be wrong with me. So the perspective of like where I came from to where I'm at is what's helped you derive the motivation and discipline to keep going. And I hope everybody heard that, because I think there's some people who only get one signing in the first month and they think they failed versus saying like, wow, last month I had 0. Now I have 1. It's all about perspective. What I also heard, which I was really cool, is you always saw it as a stepping stone. You saw it as, I'm not going to finish here. I'm just going to start here. And again, I think a lot of new signing agents say, oh, I'm making $500, $1,000, $2,000. And they're not seeing it as a stepping stone. They're seeing it as like, well, this student over here made $5,000 the first month. So there's something must be wrong with me. And so I love that you stated, you know, this was perspective A, and then B, you saw it as a stepping stone, you know, and I love your vulnerability of like, well, Mark, I don't know if I really realistically saw owning a signing service in my future, but I knew I was gonna be able to build a business. And the reason I say that is because you let your confidence push you through the $500 to $300 month and the $2,000 month and the $1,000 month. So you can get to the $8,000 month. And so, you know, how many months did it take more or less until you started making that $8,000 in your journey?
January of 21 is when I started doing signings.
So March, I think you said you started making, so was that's like 6, 7, 8 months more or less?
So it was March of this year, but my first really like plow month for me that I was like, holy smokes, was my first month full time, which was August last year. I made $4,000. The month before I only made 1,000. So I went from 1,000 to 4,000. I was like, what? That's amazing. All right. let's look at the systems. Let's make sure that I perfect the systems because I have a new month coming. And then I went from 4,000 to 5,300. Then I went from 5,300 to 6,000, 6,000 to 6,800. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah. And
each month I just,
there's a few things I want to say real quick because my mind
yeah,
is like so excited. Now, what I love about your journey is, again, and I hope this doesn't come out wrong, is you're not one of my students who makes $10,000 and 15,000. Like, this is just a real amazing business of slow and steady growth. And I'm proud of
yes,
that, by the way. And so, let me ask you a question, because I think some people, JoAnn, you're a year into the business, is they see some other students, like Irene, for instance, you're both a friend of both of ours, who does $15,000, $20,000. How come you don't see yourself as a failure, that you're, an 8,000 to 9,000 a month signing agent versus someone who's at 15 to 20,000? How come you're not seeing your journey as not successful? Because it is, but how are you keeping that frame of mind? Because I have students who have 8,000 a month businesses and all they do is compare themselves to everybody else. And we know that comparison game serves nobody. So I try to help people with the comparison game they have undoubtedly. So how do you kind of focus on your lane, stay grateful for what you have, root for Irene, not be intimidated or feel discouraged? I mean, what is your secret to that?
I look at my journey. My first full month was 4,000. My second month was 5,000, whatever. Then it was 6,000. Then it was 6,800. So that's great. But we have to look at, what does those dollars mean? Do they really mean dollars, or do they mean relationships? And I am building more and more relationships in Tucson. Ready? So someone could be making 20 grand. That is amazing. I cheer you on. Keep it up. But every one of my steps are solid. So I'm not skyrocketing. I'm stair stepping, but I can go up, and then I'm building things so then people can come up after me, and it's solid. Ready? Also, I don't chase the dollar. I chase relationships. I get loads of joy. Mark, okay, ready? Mark, I get loads of joy when I know next week it's two people's birthdays in the EO office. I get to go bring them lunch. I get to bring them bouquets. I don't bring flowers. I bring the bouquet of candy bars. And then I give them a card, and with like a Starbucks card. I love that, because somewhere life is so busy and so fast right now. It's very rare that we can stop and just celebrate someone, just to celebrate them and say, I'm not doing this because I want something. There's no hook in it. If you don't give me business anymore, that's good. But you were just touched, and it was genuine, and it was beautiful. And that right there, that will change the world. And people want to do business with someone who wants to come in and without putting a hook in it. I'll do this for you if you do this for me.
Well, so a lot of people give in order to receive. That's not giving. Yeah. That's called trading.
Exactly.
And so if you learn to give, then business gets given back. But when people try to give to receive, that's not giving. And I love that you mentioned that. But my biggest aha moment was, you're not in this for the money. You're in this to build relationships, and you're in this for the other amazing attributes of being a business owner. And that's helping other people succeed. And I think if people's hearts are in the right spot, money will always follow inevitably. And so you're not comparing your journey to someone else's, because you're focused on what brings you happiness. You're focused on what brings you joy and fulfillment as a business owner. And so that allows you to kind of just stay focused on you, cheer for everybody else. Don't see yourself as quote unquote not successful because you haven't made the 10K club. I'm successful because I'm building real authentic relationships. I'm successful because I've started a signing service. I'm successful because I make $8,000, $9,000 a month. And I love that you're just focused on your journey. And I think too many times signing agents see other people's journey, and comparison is the thief of joy. And until we really learn that and embrace, that's probably a better word, then your journey is always going to be lonely. What I love about your journey is your journey isn't lonely because you're in it for the relationships. You're in it for the fulfillment. And here's the problem is if you're always chasing the dollar, you're always not fulfilled because your value is determined upon income, which is always a losing track for fulfillment. Because once you reach a certain level of income, you're now chasing the next level of income. And so you're never truly fulfilled because you're always chasing the wrong thing.
Right.
Wow. That was beautiful.
So can I tell you something that's even better?
Yeah.
If we could all have the mentality, and I'm not saying we don't, but 2 weeks ago, I got to sign a guy who's 15 years clean, and it was their first home, and they were almost homeless. And so when he told me that, I clutched my chest and I started crying, and I was so embarrassed because I hate crying in public. But I was like, man, this is a privilege. And then his real estate agent was on the phone, just wanted to make sure everything went well. When they hung up, I was like, he was telling me, you just don't know. You don't know. And I was like, no, tell me all about it. Tell me and so he told me, and he goes, yep. And he kept on saying, you'll never understand. And I go, but I do. I said, because last Thursday I hit 25 years clean. I said, I was in the car. Someone kept you out of the car. I was in the car. And so then I turned and I said, you're a good man. And then same thing, like what I decided for myself, I said, you don't let anyone decide what your future is going to be. From this point on, it's going to get better and better for you. And I just get to speak good things into their life. And so he was like, I don't know about that. And I'm like, you know how I know you're a good man? Look how your wife's looking at you. Enough said. Now you guys pop a bottle. Enjoy. But I get to, Mark, that's amazing. If we could just stop and realize that's a huge impact, right?
I think a lot of times, I share stories of people making $10, $15, $20,000 a month. And I've kind of made a decision that I'm going to stop showing that because I want to start showing the more real part of this journey. And the reason I always shared the money, because that's what gets everybody's attention, right? But, it's time for me to start sharing the other amazing attributes of this business. What you just shared to me is probably one of those beautiful parts about being a signing agent is you never know who you're going to cross paths with. You never know who you're going to profoundly affect. You don't know what conversations can change their lives. And so, I'm just so proud of you, JoAnn. I mean, the $8,500, the $9,000 a month signing agent I'm as proud of as our students who do 30,000. It's never about the money. What makes me proud of you students is about the impact. You can have impact if you're making $3,000 a month. The money has nothing to do with impact. And so I share the money because for some reason people only like to watch videos about people making money, but I'm gonna start sharing more stories like yours where it's about the impact you have on the industry, other people. It's about chasing the relationships, not chasing the money. And that's not saying our students who make big money chase the money. It's just sharing another part of this journey and really showing the loan signing system way, which is relationships first, money second. So with that being said, let's go to the third question that I always ask. And, I always tell people, I always ask successful signing agents like you is your best friend sitting across the table. And they're like, JoAnn, I need one piece of advice to help me build this business. What would your one piece of advice be to your best friend to help you build their signing? You only get one piece of advice. What would that be?
Okay. So we already talked a lot about building a business. So I don't want to, let's not beat that one because we've got that there. The second one would be, you got to be patient because anything that's easily gotten is also easily lost. And that's why I say I'm so excited because I'm building these levels. It's because I'm making sure it's a firm foundation, right? As a signing business owner, and I'm going to my EOs, I've been doing signing service stuff, just keeping it low key because I wanted to get my systems down and I wanted it strong and I had to be patient and learn. And I made a mistake. Okay, how do you learn from that? And then build from there. And so I call it the slow burn. Everyone's like, you do all this networking, you're so good with people and you're so this and okay. They're like, why isn't it working for me? And I was like, it's a slow burn. I said, you just gotta keep at it. It's patience. You got the old slow and steady wins a race. but patience, man, because the most beautiful things on this earth have been created over thousands of years. A diamond's not formed overnight. The Hope diamond didn't form overnight. If you want it strong and you want it lasting and you want to leave a legacy for whether it be your kids or someone or whoever, it takes time. And then there's going to be that one moment where all of a sudden it goes up. And that's what happens with a slow burn. It's slow. Sometimes people think forest fires are because of, it's like this raging thing all of a sudden. Sometimes there's some crazy forest fires that have been slowly burning, didn't show a lot of smoke, didn't show no evidence whatsoever. It may have looked like smoke from my campfire.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden, a breeze hits it, wind hits it, and it just explodes. Mm-hmm. Your wind's coming, but if it's not firm and strong, it's going to blow everything down and you're going to look like a fool. And then you're going to go back to McDonald's or you're going to go back to whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to McDonald's or medical IT. So my wind is coming. And when it does, baby, I'm a firm foundation.
I love what you just said, what you said earlier, and I'm trying to think about it. You said, what's easily gotten is easily lost. Wow, that's beautiful. And when you learn that you're building a business and it's not a hobby, is when it really clicks that this is patience. I tell students that impatience kills more businesses than anything else. Too many people come into this business expecting it to explode the second month, the first. It took you 6 months to really make that first $4,000 month. The sad part is most people won't give it 6 months. And what you've shown is, to your fire analogy, is that you took 6 months of it just kind of simmering and your embers burning. And then right when that wind blew, you were prepared for this growth. And so, I patience 100%. And what I love about you is it's really your journey that sets you up for this, right? I mean, your journey of weight loss. Weight loss is all about patience, about a lot of small behaviors equaling a big result. And so a lot of your journey has really prepared you for this moment.
Oh, for sure.
Because of, you're being sober and your weight loss and your homelessness, and you couldn't go from being homeless to not homeless overnight. It was a, steady, and like I had to work at McDonald's at evenings. I had to work at FedEx during the day. So it was a lot of slow and steady, really built the past 10 years of your life. And so, like I said, our past doesn't define us, but it definitely helps shape who we are. And I think, your past, as tough as it's been, has really set you up to be an outstanding business owner, not just from the patience, but the perseverance, the hard work, the discipline, and hopefully a lot of things that people are picking up in this conversation that I want them to be inspired by. Like, very, very few businesses happen overnight. The people who make $6,000, $10,000 in the first or second month, those are the exceptions, are not the rule. And so, whether it's you or Angel, who did one of those episodes before you, she was the same thing. Took her 6 months before she started making it. So I hope people are hearing more of these stories of, you just got to be patient. And like I said, you've been saying we beat it over a dead horse, but I don't think it goes without being said again, is if you chase a relationship, money follows. If you chase the money, rarely does the money follow. So girl, this has been so much fire.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I know that, this is actually being done on a Tuesday. I know you got signings to do today. And so let's just kind of wrap this up with my last question I always ask is, there's signing agents out there or people watching this on YouTube who are contemplating being a signing agent for the first time, and something's just holding them back, right? Something's scaring them. What kind of scared you? And I'm trying to normalize some of these people's thoughts process, right? Is there something in the beginning that you were scared about? And now that you're a veteran signing agent, you're like, wow, I shouldn't have been so intimidated by that or scared of that or overthought that. What was that for you? And talk through how you overcame it. And what was that moment for you? Or what was that thing you were scared of?
So for those who know me, they still to this day think I'm lying straight to their face, but it's true. I have social anxiety. Being in a crowd of people is horrifying and it's painful. My chest gets tight, especially when people want to talk to me and all eyes are on me. It's horrifying. It's terrifying. So, and I get that. That's very common. And so people say, like, I think it was Irene who told me, someone told me, I would have never known. I'm like, yep.
Okay, so
And
let's talk through that real quick. So social
mhm,
anxiety is huge for a lot of Americans, and I appreciate your vulnerability. So my
yeah.
bigger question is, how did you persevere through that? How did you move through that? You know, help somebody who might experience the same social anxieties that you do.
Okay, that's good. That's a great question because each person handles their anxiety differently, right? Each people have their own ticks and whatever. So if I'm in a crowd of people, which we'll meet one day and you'll see, it looks like my arms are crossed and I'm angry. I'm not. I'm literally hugging myself,
Uh-huh.
right? Um, and it's not that I don't want to shake hands or whatever else. It's just I have to hug myself for a second just to be like, okay, it's good. And then I think it was Shakespeare who said all the world is a stage. And yeah, it was I believe it was Shakespeare. And when I it was high school when I heard that and I was like, I just have to know what part to play.
Mm.
So if I play the part really well, nobody's gonna know, right? Some people use
Mhm.
the phrase fake it till you make it. I don't like that phrase.
Yeah, nor do I.
Because they keep the whole I'm going to fake my life and they the whole and we see a lot of examples of faking on social media and whatever. Nope, I'm going to fake it till I make it, but you don't know I'm faking it because I know my part to play. And that leads back to business as well. Know your part. Know your part. And so I take deep breaths.
This is so good. It's like, you almost see a social setting as a play, and you realize that you're just a person in the play. So,
Right.
I think Beyonce calls her alter ego, like Sasha Fierce or something, right? And so you
Yeah.
almost have for lack of a better word, an alter ego. Like, look, this is who I need to become to have success in this moment. And so I'm going to put, I'm an actor within my own play, my own play. So good. I mean, wow.
Right. But it's
Um,
not just that you're an actor. It's you have to be able to distinguish this is a momentary. I'm doing this momentarily. And
right.
it's just, and then truthfully, Mark, it came to this. What do I want more?
Mhm.
I was in my office and not that I have voices in my head, but it really just came to me.
Yeah,
What do I want more? Do I want to be successful or do I always want to be the beta,
that's right.
bowing to somebody else out of fear and anxiety and what they think of me and what happens if they don't like me and what if they think I don't fit their narrative? Okay. So when I cut those chains off, then I was like, okay, I still have anxiety because of everything I've gone through that's caused a lot, but I want to be successful. I want to be a business owner. I want to be a boss, not an employee. I want to be an owner, not an employee. So you have to ask yourself, and that comes to the why are you doing what you're doing?
Yeah,
And your why needs to be real, it needs to be passionate, and then you got to go for it.
that's right.
You
I
know?
tell your students that your why has to be bigger than the how. And so
Exactly.
what I also heard was someone who made the decision again, because you make these great decisions of
Yeah.
like, I have to live outside my comfort zone. I think a lot of
Yes.
people expect success, but stay within a comfort zone and then wonder why they're not successful. And
Right.
growth comes from pushing yourself outside your comfort zone and and keep working until uncomfortable becomes comfortable. A lot of
Yes.
people think that just happens by happenstance.
Yeah.
You were literally telling people I've been social anxiety, but I knew I couldn't have the financial freedom or just the freedom and flexibility in becoming a boss and becoming my own business owner unless I push through those nerves. I think that's what I don't want lost is, successful people aren't born successful. And I think too many people see someone like me and like, oh, you're just super outgoing. It's like, I had to work on my public speaking. I had to work on speaking in front of 1,000 people. And so everything growth comes pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. And so
Yeah.
thank you for just sharing that because I think too many people live in a
Yeah.
comfort zone or they see someone like you and think, oh, you've always lived outside your comfort zone. This has always come easy. And you're like, no, I had to I had to pretend like, the networking event was a play and I was an actor in the play. And I loved the vulnerability of that until you no longer needed to pretend like you're an actor, but you had
Right.
to do what you had to do to get to the person you are today. Where my bet is you're no longer an actor, but you're now just a confident businesswoman, but it took growth. It took pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. And wow, what an amazing hour that we just had, on the way out here, JoAnn. Because I think there's almost no one better than you to share some words of inspiration. If someone's going through their version of a dark time, their version of living in a geo metro, sleeping in the fatal position, they're going through their version of that. What would you tell them to keep going, keep pushing? There is a light at the end of the tunnel, because sometimes people just need to hear that from somebody else. And I think you are the very appropriate person to encourage them. So if someone is going through their dark time, whatever that is, speak to them right now and tell them, what would you help them say to get through their part?
So, damn it. I would say fight on. I've heard a lot of people, okay, sorry. I've had a lot of people tell me that they just can't do it. I can't do it because of where I came from. I can't do it because I didn't go to school. Well, I dropped out of college after 3 months. Come on. I can't. And they've never fought for what they want. They've always accepted what they were told. So when someone is there, all I could say is, I just want to encourage you that you just gotta fight for what you want. And then if you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, sorry.
Don't apologize.
Like, it's really dark and you're like, I just don't, and you're feeling caving in. Get the dream. Dare to dream again. Dare to put yourself there and then hold on to the dream and forget what anyone else says. They can't see the dream. So they're just seeing you with your hand in the air, clenching on to nothing. You have to grab a hold of the dream or the vision and then just say, what will it take to get me to step 2? Let's not look at step 4,992. What is step 2? How do I get to step 2? And then as you're going to step 2, you don't let go of the dream. You're holding on to the dream. You're just clinging on to it like dear life. If you let go, that is it. But in reality, it's not it. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Because the dream is still there. So even if you slip, it's not Hollywood where you're falling to your death. It's still there. And I don't know how to encourage people to fight, but I tell people to think like a samurai, right? Go look at a samurai's armor. Freaking, I love warrior stuff. I'm the youngest of a lot. I love fighting. Fighting for me is so much fun. A samurai's armor is gorgeous, but they didn't get that when they were a kid starting to train. They got the crap. But with every victory, with every step closer to your dream, to whatever it is, you're earning. And I said this in the podcast, you're earning a chink in your armor. You're changing your armor. You're making your armor stronger and more beautiful and more amazing. And you're beefing yourself up and you're going from wee little nothing to bad boy, don't mess with me, And what does it take? Just fight on. And get the voices out of your head that say you can't. Start telling yourself, I can't. Just like living in a geo metro, close your eyes and say, tomorrow's going to be a better day. Tomorrow has got to be a better day. Tomorrow is going to be a better day. And then go to sleep clinging onto your dream, knowing that tomorrow is going to be a better day. And I can't tell people how to do that. It's different for each person. But then you surround yourself with people who will cheer you on. You surround yourself with dream believers, not dream killers. And that means you may have to separate people out of your life. And that's painful. If you have an infection in you that can kill you, it's got to get cut out. And no matter how much they put numbing stuff in you, it won't numb, because infection will not numb. It's painful. But when it heals, you are so much stronger. I don't know, man.
Thank you for being vulnerable in that moment.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you one more question on the way out. There's a lot of people right now. There's a lot of signing agents right now who are like, interest rates are up. I can't make $6,000 a month. I can't make $8,000 a month. what would you say to the signing agent? You're in a small market. You're not in Phoenix. You're not in Los Angeles. You're not in Seattle. You're not in Miami. You're not in Dallas. You're in Tucson, in what I would call a small market. And so, what would you say to the signing agent who goes, oh, interest rates are too high. It's slowing down. There's no business. The market's saturated. What would you tell them for someone who has started a signing service in the very market that they're saying it's slow in?
You get what you speak. So you keep on speaking, there's no business, woe is me. And I know this is harsh, but okay, this is going to be the harsh part. You keep speaking what you're seeing, the interest rates are up. It's slowing down. People have been doing this longer than me. There's a lot of people in the market. Oh, I'm not going to get it. You keep speaking it and you're going to get exactly what you speak. Right?
Yeah.
You have to, if this is what you want to do, if this is what it is, you will find a way, and then just be happy that you've made what if you make 3,000, right? What if you made 3,000 this month? Your bills are paid. You're not going to be evicted. You're not starving. Your bills are paid. You've been provided for.
Yeah, I love it.
How does that right there should be, people should cling on to that and say, you know what? I've been provided for.
Yeah.
And if we can find contentment in that instead of the dollar, instead of, I wish I made 20,000 a month. Well, listen, I would love to make 20 grand a month, because my bills are met, and then I get to do some fun things for people who are in need. Ready?
Yeah.
But if you're not content with your 1,000, you're not going to be getting 4,000. If you're not content with your 300, you're not going to get 1,000, because that's not how it works. It's got to be more than the money.
I would argue if you're not content with $1,000 a month, you won't be content with $10,000 a month.
Exactly.
You're not. Money has nothing to do with fulfillment. It's the journey that needs to be fulfilling. And so
Right.
I'll end with this. I mean, there is business out there for anyone, even in this current market. And I think signing agents need to hear that from someone who's not just trying to sell a course. And so to the students out there who already bought the course, already are a signing agent, you're sitting there telling them you can make money in this current market. You just got to go get it. Is that right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this is going to sound harsh. There's money to be made. But if you're going to be greedy, no one's going to do business with you. If you're going to think about yourself and yourself only and what you're getting, not what, if you want to counteroffer a signing service, doesn't matter what signing service it is, if you want to counteroffer them and be a bit greedy, then you may get your one big check. People see that and they don't want to be around that. So you may be working with signing services for your rest of your eternity.
Yeah.
But if you want to break away and be a business owner, you're not greedy. It's more relational, and then everything else comes.
Well,
it's just changing. It's just really just pivoting. It's pivoting about.
Yeah.
Pivoting instead of what about me and all about me and all about me. It's what can I do for you?
That's right.
How can I take something off your plate because you're juggling 50 things in your left hand? Let me take one thing so you can start juggling with your right hand, and you troubleshoot it and make it happen. You're the rock star, and then you'll start, and then the rewards will come. But it takes time. And
let's end with that.
Sorry.
No, that is the loan signing system way. When you build your business from your heart, money always comes. If you're building business from your mind and your greed, it never builds. And so I just thought that was a perfect place to end, because that is the loan signing system way. That is our ethos, that's our culture, and that's our community. And so thank you, JoAnn, so much. Middle of the work week, middle of the work day, to share your story to inspire other people that greatness is possible. You just got to work for it. You got to be patient, and your heart needs to be in the right place. So with that being said, Jay, I appreciate you, girl. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks,
Bye.
man. See you, buddy.